All right, so here we have the Mark 7. From yesterday, you can see that there was that spot that I had noticed the bad paint. So as you can see here, I feathered through the, using sandpaper, just feathered the paint out so it's nice and flat and even. You can see the different layers of paint. So you can see the first gray layer I put on, then the red paint, and then it looks like I went over with white again, or not white, but gray. So, and then put the red coat on. So this one I'm actually going to do with the brown, and I'm going to be painting the chin as well. So what I got here is just regular primer. I'm going to do red primer. I currently don't have any gray, so I'm going to try this with the red primer or the brown primer instead of the usual gray that I do, and see how the color comes out. So let me go ahead and shoot this real quick. Alright, so here's after about 2 coats of paint. What I've decided to do is actually go ahead and shoot the red here. I'm going to wait for this to dry, and then I'm going to tape off the chin so I can actually do the gold on the chin. So I've heard people say that you can use the gold as an underbase for the paint, but I'm not too keen on that. They say it shines and the color pops better, but if you have a metallic paint, it's going to do it regardless of whether or not you have what kind of undercoat you have. It just means that you have to use more paint to cover the gold, so you get an actual solid color. I can kind of see it shining through underneath, but by the time you put at least 2 or 3 coats on, your undercoat's usually pretty much not seen anymore. So using gold, good, but if you're using a lot of paint, not so good. So, but anyways, so here's as I said, this is the section that was bad. Just shot that off right now. I gotta wait for probably about a half an hour probably before I actually touch it again, just because I gotta tape this section off here and then paint the gold. So stay tuned, guys. There's another section coming right up. Alright, so here we go with the painting of the gold. Finally, what I've done is taped this off because I had primered it and then actually went ahead and shot the red on it, and then sanded this back down because it had a little bit of overspray on it. So basically, as I said before, I used the Krylon Metallic Brilliant Gold. Now, for a brushed metal kind of look, basically what I do is I just sand it down with a rough paper first, and then give it a coat of gold on top. And it kind of just picks up because it's not a fine finish sanding. Basically, it ends up, the paint picks up the details of the, let me get the back corner here. Okay, basically it picks up the details in the non-fine sanding. So what I'm going to do is let this dry, and then I'm actually going to go ahead and shoot a clear coat on it once it is dry, so I can show you guys exactly how it looks after it's done with a clear coat. And you can kind of see for yourself if you like that look or not, or if you want to deal with just fingerprints on metallic paints, because you will get fingerprints on metallic paints. And then you've got to wipe it and wash it, and sanding them is kind of a funky thing too, because they end up losing their sheen, and then sometimes the paint doesn't like to go back over the top of it. I've noticed you get some funny weird paint effects. So but anyways, that's the next part of that. I'll be back in a little bit to shoot some clear on top of this. Alright, thanks guys. Alright, so the gold's now dried. I'm going to go ahead and shoot a clear on top of this and see how it looks. So it kind of mutes the color a little bit. Just a little bit though. So so that's not too bad. Let me clear the nozzle out. So that's pretty much about it. I'm going to go ahead and wait for this to dry. Then I'm going to go ahead and take the tape off, wet sand the other areas, and then I'm going to shoot a clear on top of it. I just want to get at least one clear on top of this before I even touched it, just to make sure that, basically it was sealed, so no fingerprints or whatnot, because I want this piece to be able to be handled and whatnot without fear of smudging up the gold. So anyways, so that's about it for this. I'll be back in a little bit to take the tape off and whatnot after this is dried. and then show you the rest of the shooting in the clear for the rest of the helmet. So thanks, guys.